to pass the same kind of institutional muster, if one will, that one associates with more established regulatory systems. So as a result, but each of those questions, is it a commodity? Is it a security? Is it a payment system? Is it a currency? How you answer each of those questions leads you to a different answer as to who's in charge first, right? And then once you get to the question as to who's in charge, sometimes various regulators can look at any particular aspect and say, well, that's me, and then you have possibilities of overlap, confusion, and the like. But to top it all off, you have this very dynamic system that's always evolving, and it's deeply international, right? Where Mt. Gox was run out of, which was a major exchange for Bitcoin, was run out of Tokyo by two French guys, right? You know, that creates new kinds of stresses and challenges for the international regulatory system. And so, you know, from a regulator's perspective, you know, things are just now getting started. In Washington, folks are going to obviously be employing the young geniuses to help them figure it out. But it's very hard to formulate a response when you don't know what it is and when you don't know who's in charge.
Well, as someone texted me who works in my program, that leaves me a little Bitcoin fused.
Then I've done my job.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I think your key principle, I think, is an important one. You know, how you define it determines who, if anyone, will be in charge of regulation, either nationally, internationally, or globally.
That's right.
So I would say. I want to give the other panelists a chance to respond to each other's points. Some were writing vigorous things down before I open it up to questions from the audience. So any thoughts?
As someone who employs a lawyer, I want to hire you. As someone who lives in the 21st century, I want to look at you straight in the eye. And I know you don't believe this in total because we've talked. That was the greatest set of late 20th century jargon from a government that I've heard. And it's not wrong within the confines of that system. But it is a nation-state-based system, and it is asking nation-state-based rules. And I think a little bit of what Jay is referencing, and obviously our young friend here is referencing, is that there are people now who wish to work outside of that. And the question is, in terms of international law, whether or not, in fact, we have those kinds of controls over these people. I mean, again, what you said is perfectly sensible. And Lauren knows running down that list, I can hear exactly what you're saying. But those are nice, dollar-based, Bretton Woods systems kinds of rules. And the thing I